Right, welcome to the coffee break. This is the episode number 91. Thank you very much for joining today. And as usual, there's a very open space. Any questions or topics, projects that you're working on. From our side, there is lots of news on region support, and I know other new samples we have. I'm going to maybe share later. But let me start with you. If you have any questions or topics that you'd like to bring up. Yeah, please open your microphone, your camera. Always happy to see you guys. Anything interesting going on? Oh, hi, Michael, Nathaniel. Anything interesting going on this week with your projects? Any
Good
questions that you
morning.
have?
Oh, you mean me?
Anyone? I'm just seeing your name. Like, it's been a while. How are you?
Good, good. Yeah, the Builders Jam's on the other channel right now,
Oh
and
yeah, but that's yeah,
they
internal
have
stuff.
they have groovy music playing. I'm just thinking, this is what you need to kick off the morning.
Yeah.
Coffee and some groovy
I was
music.
trying to learn how to put that music to play in the background. I have to learn how to do that.
Yeah, we need to make it sound more exciting. They're dancing around and everything.
Oh yeah, no dancing. Maybe I can get some AI video dancing. That will be
No,
interesting.
no, no, no. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it.
I do have a quick question, Augusto.
Yeah.
Um, I guess late last year, 2023, you deprecated some authentication APIs,
Mm-hmm.
and we noticed that they're extended through the end of April to give people more time to switch over to the V2. Uh, we just by chance noticed it. I don't know how we missed it, but um, is there a better way to be notified of these changes? Can we subscribe to maybe a blog or
Yeah.
otherwise we
So
would have really been up the creek had we
yeah,
not
of course.
caught it.
So so I have a question for you first, right? So what is your Autodesk email account? The one that you use for your app, the one that is actually being used. So you don't have to say it, right? So think about it. We send message to that email, right? So the email that you have registered to use for your account, the one that you buy credits, that you create applications, that you do your production work, that email alias, we send message to it, right? So
Oh, okay.
be sure that that email is monitored somehow. It's not unusual to have like a team@company.com, right? That everyone shares the same email, and whenever there is a change, or whenever there is something, we send to that email. So there is something that we call operational email, right? Operational emails that even if you say, I don't want to receive emails from Autodesk, we send message to that email because it's a notification of something that is going to potentially break or change some behavior, right? So in this case, a deprecation message will always be sent to everyone, regardless they're opt-in or opt-out. So one, check for that email, right? Two, we do have a newsletter that comes every month with updates in general, right? What's going to change, what's new, what's improving, events, all of those things, right? So we do have a monthly newsletter. So if you don't have that newsletter, let me show you quickly. And you can subscribe to that today. Where is it? Do you remember, Michael? I think it's... keep forgetting where that message is, where that newsletter is.
They might have moved it. It used to be in the community.
Yeah, it should be here, right? What? Okay, I'll find that one. But we do have a newsletter that come out every month. By the end of the month, we send updates on whatever is new, whatever is changing. There is lots of information there as well. And third option is not ideal, but there's an option as well. Our blog, right? There's always something new here. And usually when there's something like that, we filter by announcements. So anything that is an announcement should include new stuff, changing stuff, or events in general, right? So that's a lot of noise, but that's not ideal. Of course, you'll be monitoring this. But yeah, my first suggestion is to look at the email that you use. Make sure that that email is monitored. And if you don't know or cannot do it today, get the newsletter. I'll just get the link and share with you. Give me just a moment. I'll find it.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be helpful. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, we just
I'm
happened to
curious.
be in another meeting with Cyril, and he just mentioned it. We're like, oh man, I'm glad you mentioned that because, and I'm glad you guys extended that deadline.
Yeah. So in general, we never intend to break anyone, right? So even if we have a few people that are still using that API or some old version, we'll keep communicating and pursuing, right? I think right now the list is very small. So the number of people is still using V1. And I believe that if you create a new app, you cannot start using V1. You can only use V2 now, just to prevent new people from using it, right? So yeah,
Thank you.
cool. Yeah, sorry I missed you, but yeah, please check that inbox, make sure that it's there. All right.
Hey, I'm wondering, Augusto, in the health, since this is sort of related to breaking changes or, version bumps or migration, I wonder if it would be better to tie it to have an option to subscribe via the health dashboard. In other words, you're specifically interested in services or features that are aligned with, one or two particular things, like, say, for example, the APIs. I wonder
I
if
don't
there's
know. Yeah,
yeah,
go
I'm
ahead.
wondering if the newsletter is quite broad and sort of, it covers a lot of marketing things as well as, API changes. I wonder if there'd be something more, a newsletter or some sort of subscription service that would be more targeted.
Yeah, I think you can
It's a
probably
big
look at it.
ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The health dash. So let me show what he means, right? If you go to support API status, right? It goes to the health dashboard from Autodesk. The only difference that if you go from the dev portal, it filters by APS. So you see there is a filter on the top here. But if you remove this filter, it shows everything, right? Authentication specifically is such a core component that is used across Autodesk, right? That it doesn't really show here, because if there's a problem there, everyone will have a problem, right? But anyway, yeah, you can come here and select, let's say, select data exchange APIs, right? And you can subscribe to updates, right? Meaning that if there's any change in the health of this service, you get a notification as well. That's a different way of looking at it. Yeah, we can explore. I don't know. Can explore on that.
Yeah.
Probably
I mean,
something for
I
us
guess
to do later.
I guess I was reaching out to you guys to sort of say what would be if you've got somebody new on the team and you wanted if you had somebody new on your team and you wanted to get a notification, they wanted to get notifications on things
Yeah,
like, authentication migration or version 2.
yeah,
Yeah, how would you add them to the notifications?
yeah. So newsletter is definitely a place to start. Cool.
I
Yeah.
like what Augusto just showed, the subscribing to those API status board.
Yeah. That's more like when something is up or down or degraded, right? You can see that. So yeah, so that also helps. Cool. Yeah, thanks, Sam. So if you, as usual, right? So if you have any questions there on the migration, if you need, any help, aps.help@autodesk.com. Let me write this down. aps.help@autodesk.com. You know that, but no, just in case. All right, cool. What else? me share something interesting with you while you get your questions ready. We have this I forgot the name, a boot camp, sorry. Trainings that happen used to happen once every two quarters of the year, twice a year. Now we're trying to do it 4 times a year. And this next one in April will be focused on ACC, so have a more emphasis there. And I believe this time we have the typical Hubs project we do, Hubs browser we do typically, but this time we're also having ACC and admin APIs. So it'll be one day for that, how to integrate with that API. So that's happening in April, and will be quite interesting. If you haven't started with ACC, that's a good chance to start there. Most projects that will integrate with ACC will have some sort of admin needs, so this will be interesting.
Wonderful, August. So can you please share that link here in the chat
Yeah,
box?
of course.
I'm gonna pass it on to our team. I have one specific question. Seems like ACC now supports BCF, exchange of issues. Is that something that's going to be covered in this workshop?
Probably not something that specific, and but also that the training is focused on admin API for this time.
API only. Okay.
Yeah. But I can check if you plan to do issues as well. I believe it's just admin API. Let me check.
Is any of that available under APS? Meaning some of the endpoints for hosting and managing BCF files on the server. I don't even know what the architecture is behind ACC or APS, if you have one for, is it file-based? Is that?
Yeah, so I don't know. Let's see. I would have to ask, honestly. Maybe Zong is here. No, he's not.
If you can, whatever information you can share with us, that would be great. I'm just curious to see if it follows the billing is smart standard for architecture, and if it does, which one of the options? Because there are two different options. One, model and issues would be hosted on the same server. Two, issues are separately hosted on a server exclusive of the model, excluding the model. I'm curious to see what the architecture is for us as we kind of look into this integration at the BCF level. Thank you.
Almost, you're muted. Hello.
Oh, it's me. Sorry, it's me. Yeah, my bad. I'm checking with my colleague that knows better about issues, and yeah, let's see what he says. But I don't know.
I mean, there is a BCF export, but
In the API?
it's from the website, not from the API.
Oh, okay.
But you could, I mean, arguably, it's just an API call. You could use it as an undocumented feature.
Yeah.
So there's an option if you go to the the website under ACC, and there's an option to do export as, I think, Excel and then BCF.
I
think
see.
those are the two options. If you look at the network console, you can see what the API call is. Obviously, you probably have a restriction on the access token. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Well, most likely, yeah, will not work like that. You need the Autodesk token. Yeah, that could be a bit hacky, Michael. So yeah,
it's totally hacky. I think the point though is if you can make that useful for yourself, then reach out to us, and then we can talk to the team, the ACC team, and rally for that to become the official API and promote it as part of our documentation and fix it so it's official.
Thank you.
cool. All right. Any other questions or topics?
Yep. I have one. I also posted to chat. I recently found this new combine an API of design automation, and I have this basically 5 questions. Okay, with this API, it's possible to make how to say it, to combine few work items. And first question is, are these parts running in parallel or sequentially? So the API takes request payload with parts and the combinator. Combinator is the last work item, parts is an array of work items.
So I haven't played with that API yet. I'm looking at the documentation here. So from what I understand here, it will run all the n tasks, then the combinator class. Sorry, n work items, and then the combination work item, right? So let's say you have 6, it will run 5, and then the 6th one to combine all previous 5, right? So they will be running in parallel, and then when all of those are ready, the 5th one will be executed.
Would be nice to also to have a sequential workflow.
Yeah,
that
could work. Probably you need more combinator, right? So you have to run. Yeah, but that makes sense. You have a more better orchestration control, right? So you can run different pieces in any order that you want.
Yeah,
So
yeah, as well as batching.
as well as what?
To start multiple, like work item post API with batch. API reference and the work item. Where is it? Sorry. Okay, I maybe try to. What's going on? I can't. Oh, I can share screen. So design automation. Open guide and API reference, work item. With this API endpoint, you can start up to 100 work items. Like, would be also nice to have this ability to work items combine as well as sequential workflow. Okay, then probably you didn't play with that, so other questions like.
But the combine is 100 as well, right? So you yeah, but that's a fine tune there that you can definitely adjust, or can that ask for that. So for that summary, can you please write this down? Like what is it that you are trying to achieve, and what are the things that you would like to have added to this feature?
Okay.
Right? Okay. So we can make sure that we work on it. Now, probably changing what is there, it's a bit more difficult to do, but we can definitely explore having improvements in the future. But we definitely need a very clear description, like I need to run these in this order. Here's an example of why this is important. That would be really helpful.
Yeah, okay, I'll write it.
Yep, thank you.
No problem, no problem. Basically, I do it with on complete callback or starting new work item after one is completed. So basically, okay, these parts are running parallel. That's also great, but sequential would be also nice to have. Okay, then thank you. No problem.
So the thing about running jobs like that, design automation or similar, right? I'm not saying it's impossible to do like in parallel sequential, right? The challenge is always about how many instances we have available at that point in time, right? So given more and more constraints, let's say run this after that, will potentially slow down, because at that point a machine may not be available. So let's say you have to run 100 jobs in parallel and then one to combine them. That's easy, right? Because you can run all those 100, and whenever they finish, we just trigger one more. But if you have lots and lots of sequences that may have some bandwidth on our side as well. Anyway, I'm just explaining how in general it works, right? We have this queue of jobs we process it. But yeah, definitely, I like the idea of orchestration. I think that's where we're heading. And if you can elaborate, where you're going to, where we're trying to go there, we can definitely, make the case for you with our team.
Thank you. So
yeah, excellent question. Thank you.
Basically, the workaround is there. No problem to start another task after one is completed. Also, not a big deal with, I don't know, to wait while it's queued and starts whenever it can. No problem, no problem. But if there would be a sequential workflow as well, then there is no need to store the data in between of this somewhere else. And that's just less resources will be used. And nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really about having those complex workflows. That would be interesting. Yeah. So what kind of project are you working on to have this kind of combination and orchestration going on your side? Anything that you can share?
I'm working with a big project. It's on the edge between construction and manufacturing. It's about facade design. So basically, it's Inventor, it's Revit, also a bit of AutoCAD, all types of design automation.
Okay, so you actually have to run those engines to prepare the drawings for you on the construction side.
Yeah.
So for fabrication.
Yeah. We are preparing both 3D models, drawings, and so on. And it's basically would be quite a long task for inventory if combine everything in one. Currently, yes, there is a possibility to increase a time for inventor machine to run the job, but also on the contradictory would be better to make it in parts. With this combine, these parts could be done in parallel, as well as maybe some bugs, indefinite cycles could appear. It would be better to kill the job after I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes, and not to make I don't know, 3 hours. So something like that.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, lots of lots of organization there. Interesting. All right, Elias.
Hello, guys. I just have a question about the APS view. If you
APS viewer.
viewer, yeah, there is a method called the document node, and it contains 3 parameters. The first parameter is the doc, the second one is the viewable, and the third one is the options. Now, one of the options that can be passed to the options object is apply scale, or let me check it, apply scaling. When we give the value meters to the apply scaling, I want to know if a model is, for example, created with millimeters or with meters. It will be converted also, or to its scale will be converted also to the meters scale by the viewer, or how it's worked?
Right. So what's happening? I can probably answer that one, Augusto, if you like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So internally, LNV uses the same. It uses a single unit scale. Everything's measured in feet, and then when it presents the data to the user interface, it will convert to whatever the original file was. So if it was in a Revit file and it was metric, it was using meters, then it will convert all of the numbers into meters. That override, or that option that you're talking about, changing the scale, all that does is just force the metric that you want to display, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Cool. Does it help? Any
Sorry?
other questions? Any other questions there?
Honestly, I will have a call with, I think it's here in the call with Michael Beal
Mm.
in the next one day about, we have like, I am a 3D developer in the 3D team in Evercam. I don't know, guys, if you are familiar with this company. It's a time-lapse construction company and construction project management company. We are running a lot of products, 360 view, beam view, drone view, camera recordings, time-lapse, live view. And we are working in 360 view products where we are integrating the Autodesk for viewer along in the side of the 360 view, and we are synchronizing the movement and the rotation between the two. And we are having like a lot of issues. For example, between in the synchronization and the camera is like shaky. And I think I talked to my team lead, and he said that I think we should let this issue discussion to the next Monday call, since we are already. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. If the camera is shaking during the synchronization, it could be a couple of things, but the first one that comes to mind is, perhaps the model has a very large offset, and the model's so far away from origin that there's a precision problem, and that causes the geometry to shake, and also looks like it's wobbling. The camera wobbles and the geometry looks like it's broken. And so the solution is to move the geometry back to origin, and that will fix the jittering. And so if you're synchronizing one camera system with the viewer camera system, and you're seeing that jittering and that shaking, then what I would try is to see if it's a problem with the origin, the global offset. There's a blog post on it. If you look for loading multiple models in the viewer, I believe there's there's an answer for that. But what I do is I think we've got a call, or I think you've already reached out to me, Eli, and I can double check in your message to see if this is one of those topics. I didn't see that as a topic, but yeah, reach out to me. I think is probably the best thing to do at aps.help.
I actually booked a call in the next Monday with you and with
Okay.
the team lead. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Now I know what it is.
Yeah. I don't know if you can share the screen to show you something that's similar happening to the Forge RCDB, which is the physics example. I'm trying to apply the same function in the browser console, and it's the same shaking problem is happening there. Don't know if I can share the screen with you guys or.
Yeah, but it needs to be a bit quick. We are already over time.
Yeah, sure.
May I ask one more question? Yeah, the time is almost over.
For Michael to say that.
Sorry.
I don't know if my screen is shared or not.
Yes,
yes, I can see it. Yep.
For Michael to say that it is a problem of global offset or geometry. Here is an example of the physics sample. I don't remember well its name, but here is the function that we are using, and I am trying to call it every, for example, 1 millisecond to simulate the rotation, to the horizontal rotation of the camera. And you can see this shaky thing here.
Okay,
This is
yeah, no
complete.
problem. What
Sure.
what I do is send an email to me, and we can also catch up on the Monday call, and we can
Sure.
take a look at it together.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks everyone. Sorry about that.
Well, that helps in helping get Michael ready as well. So hi, you have a question? I saw your
Yeah.
hand. Yeah. No, hi as
May I
well.
ask?
Hi.
Sorry. Hi. Recently we have some project about infrastructure, and we have to work with also drawing and drawing quick drawn by AutoCAD and AutoCAD Civil. So I wonder how can we know which drawing was drawn by AutoCAD or AutoCAD Civil 3D with model derivative API, because some drawing withdrawn by Civil 3D very heavy, and the data is so complicated. So we want to separate which data we will send to API, and which data we need to analyze something before we send to API.
So we want to get a model that is hosted in ACC or BIM 360, and you want to process that drawing with design automation. But first, you want to figure out if it's AutoCAD or Civil 3D.
Yes.
Okay. So design automation does support Civil 3D. You can load Civil 3D libraries, right? So you don't have to worry about that. Just load that drawing in design automation. And if that drawing has Civil 3D objects in it, right? The Civil 3D APIs will be available for you. Now, you don't want to add Civil 3D stuff to an AutoCAD drawing, because then we'll add all those objects there, right? There is a way, if AutoCAD, if DWG is Civil, the safest way to do it is to open the dictionary of the AutoCAD of the DWG file, right? And see if that dictionary has AutoCAD Civil 3D specific stuff in it. So if it does, then you start doing Civil 3D things, right? Now, all the Civil 3D objects will have AECC objects in it, right? So if it does, then you can.
CC. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm writing note.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I believe there is. I wrote a blog around about that a long time ago. Check if because you don't actually want to load Civil 3D stuff before you check it, right? You wanna yeah, because if you load, then you start messing up with stuff, right?
Yes, because people often have some mass data from a 3D scanner, so we want to analyze before we send.
Let me find that. Are you here? Give me just a sec. I think I have that somewhere. I'll have to keep looking for it. Can you drop me a message on email? I did write that a long time ago, but I have to find out where it is. But essentially, I have to open the dictionary to look for it.
So maybe I will send you an email.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah, please do. And I can check for it. Yeah. If I keep looking for that online, will take a long time. I did write there, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe. Cool, thank you. All right, with that, we are a bit over time, and let me, Alex, yes.
Yeah. I have tried to ask the question quickly. We every day we are starting lots of design automation tasks, and I noticed that sometimes, very seldom, but it happens. I don't know. The state of the work item became cancelled. And I definitely don't have any code that deletes the work item. So what could be the reason of that?
So you have some work items that are being
Cancelled. With
Cancelled.
cancelled status, yes.
Okay.
I-
Would you have any of those IDs so we can check on them?
Sure, I have, but I will send them as well.
Yeah, please
I
send
don't
that
know,
via email.
maybe 3 or 5 work items in last 2 months.
Yeah. Cancel should not happen on our side, right? It shouldn't actually just be canceled. Either you cancel it or it fail, right? Which is a different thing, right? So cancel status, we would have to look at it.
Okay, thank
So
you.
please share 1 or 2, as many as you have IDs, so we can look at it.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. Just quickly showing what I was discussing with him, right? So yeah, there's a dictionary in the AutoCAD drawing is this dictionary. So this is a bit old, 2015, and I'm not sure why I remember this one, but yeah. So you don't want to load any Civil 3D specific stuff before you check something that is not Civil 3D specific, right? Because this is
Yes.
AutoCAD only, right? So
Okay. Yeah,
all right,
I
cool.
am open it. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Let me again. Oh, where is it? It's in here. Where is my stuff? Why did it move to the other screen? Anyway, just a second, sorry. All right. Yeah, with that, thank you very much. Next coffee break will be in 2 weeks, same time. And yeah, same link. Thank you very much for joining today. And recording will be available soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.